One of, if not the worst thing that can happen when watching anime, is that you get knee-deep into a series, and instead of finishing it off in OVA form like in the days of old, you're just left hanging there feeling like you've been friend-zoned. That's how the ending of the classic sports anime Slam Dunk ended. For anime-only fans, it was a good spot to end the journey of Hanamichi Sakuragi as he went from a basketball noob with over 100 rejections of love to a key player on Shohoku's basketball team. Hanamichi, having entered high school, had no interest in sports at all. Like most boys his age, the only thing on his mind was pulling some ladies, even if it's just one, which has been his goal since middle school, hanging with the boys and video games. But when his latest confession hinted that she is only interested in guys that plays basketball, Hanamichi's world took a new direction as he entered Shohoku's basketball team to win her affection. But in his struggles to learn the sport, he found a love like no other for the game and strived to be a red-headed demon on the court. But in this Anodive, I'm going to see if Hanamichi would recap the events that happened once the anime ended. The national tournament is where the legend of the red-headed monkey took the nation by storm, toppling a dynasty's greatest generation. Rebound King, or King of the Board Sakumi Hanamichi, I would like to talk to you about the time you led Shohoku High School to topple the greatest generation of Sannoh High School's basketball team ever produced.
I love to. However, my English is not very good.
Here, with this you can talk in your native language, but this will translate what you say into English. And thank you for giving me a bit of your time. As a freshman, you gained the name of the Rebound King by tying the record for most rebounds in a game. But I would like to talk about the National High School Basketball Tournament of your freshman year.
It was the first time they'd been to the InterHigh, and this genius once again was going to lead them to victory. The first school we faced was looking down on us because we were newcomers. Gori managed to win the tip-off and get the basketball to Ryota, who broke fast down court. That peasant should have gave the rock to the Great One to score, but he passed it to that sorry Rukawa and the ball got stolen instead, thus they made their counterattack. It was a 3-on-2, which if I was a part of that defense, I wouldn't have gotten faked out like Mitsui, allowing them to posterize Ryota. Ha 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 ha. Run that back one more time. I bet Ryota was like, all nuts. When he saw those nuts coming, ha 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 ha.
Damn, you didn't have to word it in such a way, but Ryota managed to go coast to coast and drive down the court straight to the basket, and with his shot blocked, he attempted to pass it off, but that was stopped too and the ball was turned over.
I wasn't going to let them score again, and they got a sample of this genius's defense abilities and tried to take me out of the game, but I was too fast with my cat-like reflexes and showed him how a proper bump goes.
And got a foul called on yourself too. That allowed them to reset up their offense and score. But Shohoku wasn't just going to let that slide, and in the next possession you got past the ball and did the jump shot that you and the coach. What the hell was that?
You see, what happened was that spider monkey Ryota gave me a bad pass, and because of that, I got sub out of the game. It was his fault, not mine, that shot was bad.
Being one of the pillars of the team, Akagi stepped up his game and was able to go into beast mode, because Yasuda, who was subbed and slowed down the pace of the game as the run and gun style of playing wasn't bearing fruit, so the coach wanted to run some plays and put some points on the board. Even on defense, they were able to stop any more advances by the other team to take back control of the game, and Akagi Shek attacked the board to score, displaying his dominance of the inside. Hold on, what happened to the color?
Technical difficulties. Budget cutbacks. You take your pick, as it doesn't matter since I wasn't on the court anyway. You can say I'm saving you in budget cost going old school style.
Bruh, you're even more petty than Riley Freeman. This is pretty low. Yasuda kept leading the offense and soon Akagi needed to be heavily guarded. However, that was what he wanted to collapse the defense, thus allowing the man, the myth, the super rookie Kaide Rukawa to let loose. He took away their lead and gave it to Shohoku. Toyotama's captain managed to take back the lead, but Rukawa was just getting started. So when the Toyotama's captain thought he was going to lock him down, Rukawa pulled an Iverson crossover on his ass into a Jordan fade-away jump shot to retake the lead once again.
That stupid fox was showboating too much and didn't see that they were setting him up. But even this genius wasn't fast enough to warn him, as he was hit hard when the ref was focused on the play that was going on. Stupid fox hit the ground pretty hard too. Gori saw it too and let them know that we always pay back out debts with interest.
With that, the first half came to a close, and being down one man will make it difficult for you to stay in the game. Both teams look to be evenly matched at this point, but while we're on the halftime break of this game, could you be so kind as to subscribe as we continue to dive into the InterHigh tournament with our man, the Rebound King Hanamichi.
That stupid fox was showboating too much, and didn't see that they were setting him up, getting hurt, and taken off of the court. The last few seconds of the half, Ryota broke towards the basket but got fouled hard into the news reporters. Toyotama must have had it in their heads. We were pushovers because he almost caught those hands if Ryota didn't stop himself. Don't let Ryota's size fool you. That boy can throw down with the best of them. The half ended with Toyotama leading 34-28.
The second half start surprised everyone as Rukawa was returning to the court. Once again, Akagi managed to win the tip-off. Just like in the first half, Toyotama ended up with the ball after a failed pass to Rukawa. Toyotama's captain collapsed your defense and passed it back behind him to score, bringing the lead up by 8.
That fox followed my lead and we broke down court on a fast break. I yelled behind me to not make any more stupid plays, Ryota.
That outburst did distract the defense to allow Ryota to get past his defender, and seeing an opportunity to score, Ryota tossed the ball up. Hanamichi, your defender, realized what Ryota was cooking up as he was returning the humiliation dealt to him from earlier in the game and was going to posterize Toyotama's number 5.
If it wasn't for the fact that this genius could jump to the heavens, that ball would have gone out of bounds. But I was able to catch it and score. But that stupid ref must have been paid off as he called goaltending or some shit like that on my genius play.
Please tell me you're not being serious right now. Ryota tossed you an alley-oop.
An alley what?
No comment, but that play should have went something like this. Moving on, Toyotama High School took this mess up made by you to extend their lead, pushing it to 10 points. With the lead getting bigger each play, Rukawa knew he had to do something to try and turn this game around. Toyotama's team captain informed him that their lead will only widen, and a one-eye Willie should just ride the bench. Rukawa, being the type of player he is, wasn't the type to fall for trash talk, as he just ignored it and ran down the court.
I don't know what it was. Maybe I had some Skywalker blood in me, but I felt a disturbance in the force. That wasn't the usual fox coming down the court. Ryota either not learning his lesson from the first 2 times, or felt it too and passed the ball to that fox. It was like he was telling everyone to bow down as he scored an all-net no-rim jump shot with one eye. But that monster fox wasn't done yet, as Ryota stopped their inbound play and dished the ball back. But he couldn't fool this genius eyes as he messed up the pass again. But to everyone else, it looked like he caught the pass and did a play in the air on 2 defenders. The ball went in and out, but he did manage to get the foul called.
Rukawa took to the foul line to take his 2 shots, but he did something surprising as he closed his eyes and shot the ball.
I told you this was a different beast altogether, and my unsettling feeling was growing. He missed the second shot, and this genius was able to get the rebound, but my putback was met with some difficulties, and was blocked. I was getting pissed at the plays that damn fox was stealing away from me, and this allowed Toyotama High School to score. I was not going to be outdone by that fox, and at this moment Gori felt it too. My godly pressure was busting out. For a moment Gori was overwhelmed by it, but he snapped out of it and tossed me the rock, and I gave Rukawa my reply to his taunting. I too can do all net no rim, bitch.
Okay. The rivalry between the two of you brought new life to Shohoku High School, as Toyotama High School was about to see what happens when Shohoku's Superman and Batman gains tunnel vision. The only thing the two of you want more than winning, and that would be putting the rest of the team down, calling them dead weight. Rukawa, they can accept doing this, but you will. That causes the level of gameplay of the rest of team to raise 2 to 3-fold. The final minutes of this game is going to be something for the record books, that's for sure.
It was as if time stopped for a moment to allow it all to sink in for everyone in the crowds. It took a moment for me to get warmed up, but Coach Anzai even stood up to tell me it's about time. I show them who has descended onto the court, and I was going to show those at this tournament the beast that Coach Anzai crafted.
Toyotama answered your basket with one of their own, still holding onto the lead. Once again, Ryota brings the ball up court. He manages to get the ball to Akagi on the inside, but that was just a ploy by Toyotama to try and steal the ball from him.
I don't know how else to describe it, but it's like Gori is already in tune with the world as he once again senses another awakening in the distance. Mines and that fox presence was already overwhelming, so he passed the ball back to the outside, and Michi, as only Michi could, sent them his calling card. Toyotama had to have been shitting in their pants, as it was like a Super Saiyajin bargain sale going on. Our defense was rock solid like a fortress, and we hit their scoreboard, how Snoop Dogg would hit a blunt, and before they knew it we tied the score, leading them to call a timeout. The shock of this turnaround must have caused them to go mad crazy over at their bench, but at our bench, the coach went over how he wanted us to end this and put them out of their misery in these last 5 minutes.
Once the time was up, each team came back to the floor and the ref blew the whistle for the game to resume. Toyotama High tried to get a rhythm going, but the momentum was still in your favor as you grabbed the rebound and Rukawa managed to score again. It was like every time the ball was in his hands, the scoreboard was about to change.
Let me tell you something. That wasn't the usual playstyle of that fox. I heard stories about how some people you don't trash talk, hurt, or play dirty against, like Larry Legend, Michael Jordan, and Kobe Bryant. The game then comes personal, and what they dish out will have CPS called for abuse. Their captain must have gotten to spirit or something, but his ploy was already seen through. You can't fool a fox twice, you idiot. so when he went to score, he was also trying to make sure that Fox goes out of the game for his disrespect. But it didn't go as he had planned. What looked like them falling into the reporter was the captain making his team's last mistake. The first strike was when they knew to try and get this genius off the court early. The second was them blinding the Fox, and the last strike was sending Ryota head first to the ground. So in reality, that Fox suplexed their captain using the cameraman as a way to hide it. That sneaky Fox put him out of the game instead, and when he came to, all he was able to bear witness to was how this genius put the final nail in the coffin. Their trip to the InterHigh this year was short, and I hope the beating we gave them would be a good life lesson for them. Don't ever have your mouth write checks your game can't cash, because we will come and collect with interest.
Oddly enough, the team that was known as the Ace Killers and a regular at the InterHigh each year got a taste was what they dished out. Shohoku isn't like other teams that are full of athletes. Sadly, this is a team of ruffians, delinquents, and brawlers. Also at one point, not only would this team fight you, but they would also even fight each other. And it's because of this unique bond they are able to beat the odds, so to speak. Toyotama High School just bit off way more than they could chew. Next up is their matchup with the reigning champions a few years running. So hit that subscribe so you won't miss out on the battle no one saw as more than a cliff note turned into a battle of the gods. Question: are you the best if you beat the best at their best, or is the one that beat you afterwards the best if they beat you when you're not? Sannoh High School is the reigning high school champion for the last few years. I'm here with Coach Aenzai to talk about how his team didn't win the championship, but they did dethrone the reigning championship team held as the strongest team ever. Behind your unassuming demeanor is a brilliant strategist who always knows how to turn the tides of the game for your team. Coach Aenzai, you, like Haruko Akagi, realized Sakuragi's potential early on and decided to make him a starter, even though some of his basketball skills were subpar. Recognizing that shooting was Sakuragi's current weakness, you made him make 20,000 baskets in 1 week to get ready for the national tournament.
Ho 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 ho. Sakuragi's is like a sponge and absorbs everything he is taught. He puts what he learns into practice quickly. So taking Sakuragi's natural talent, I needed his body to get used to a perfect shooting form, and with him being a blank slate, there would be no bad habits I would need to correct.
Both teams take to the court during the halftime break to warm up a bit before the start of the next round. Sannoh High is really looking good right about now. The aura of a championship team can be felt from here. Hanamichi, for some reason, is still on the court looking at the other team's basket. Wait a minute, Hanamichi just took off down the court. No way. Is he about to show us a dunk from the free throw line in a high school game?
Ho 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 ho. Sakuragi's is very spirited, but that was indeed a good attempt by him, even if it ended in failure.
Well, he did bring anticipation for the next round, to say the least. But it doesn't look like he learned from showing off earlier, as he sneaks over into Sannoh's warm-up drills and slam dunks it with authority. He even goes as far as to hang on the rim for a bit as the crowd here goes wild, wondering just who this kid was. Sannoh's team approaches Hanamichi as he tosses them back the ball and says hello. Hanamichi then goes back to his side of the court, giving high fives to his teammates, and they too join in on taunting the champs. Sannoh High, not being intimidated by this, also goes to give their hello, but was stopped by the actions of Akagi and Rukawa. The game hasn't even started yet, and both teams are itching to get a piece of the other.
Ho 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 ho. Sakuragi's spirit always brings out the best in them, but even I too got drawn in by him and wanted to say hello in a way that only a coach can.
But before we begin the game, if you could hit that like button and be sure to subscribe for more anodives like this one. Both centers Akagi and Kawada line up for the jump ball. The jump ball ends up a tie, but Shohoku manages to get the ball and dribbles down court. Ryota looks to be trying to set up a play, but Sannoh's Kazunari is not giving him any openings. This allows Sannoh's Satoshi to come from behind and steal the ball, thus doing a fast break down court. Ryota manages to catch up and steal the ball back, but this time he wastes no time and shoots the ball. No wait, it's an alley-oop.
Like I was saying earlier, Sakuragi's energy affected me too. And this opening play I had them do is the hello I wanted to send to Sannoh High School's coach.
Hihaha, this team is something else, but Sannoh wasn't fazed at all and answers Shohoku's hello with a basket of their own.
With the hellos out of the way, I made Mitsui the center of our attack, so even if Sannoh was going to match us point for point with each possession, 3 points is still one more than 2 points, which will allow us to run away with the lead in the opening half of this game.
And run away with the lead you did. Mitsui was on fire, raining in those threes like a mad god. Sannoh tried not to let it bother them, but slowly Shohoku was pulling away. But when they shifted their defense towards the outside, it only left the inside open for Akagi to slam it home. Coach, I see now why you were called the white-haired devil in your college coaching days. You had them start the game flashy with an alley-oop as the opening play, then you had Mitsui rain down threes like Steph Curry to drive out the defense just so you can pass it to the inside to score. So with Hanamichi and Akagi on the inside, any outside shot can turn into an alley-oop, and if you try to stop the outside shooting, then you leave the inside open. So whether it's 3 points or 2 points, you are looking to score on every possession quickly. If this does keep up, even if mistakes are made here and there, as long as you still manage to score, you can keep the lead with Mitsui 3 points. Sannoh High School may be the reigning high school champion for the last few years, but Shohoku came out firing on all cylinders. Hanamichi's pre-game actions even had his captain flexing on the court. Sannoh High School wasn't fazed at all as they scored with ease. Ryota brings the ball up and Sannoh captain Fukatsu goes for the steal, but Ryota did a spin moving past him and drives in for a layup. Sawakata comes out of nowhere to block his attack with authority, but the ball rebounds off of the face of Hanamichi into the basket.
Luckily for us, Sakuragi was in the right place at the right time. Due to a nosebleed, I had to sub him off the court. So Sannoh's ace decided this was a good chance to go against our ace Rukua, and made passing him look easy as he scored. With his bleeding having have stopped, I subbed Sakuragi back in. But what Sannoh didn't know, our Rukua is like a shark in the water as he returns all favors back with interest.
Pay back with interest. Rukua posterized Sannoh center Nobe and just looked at Sawakata as if telling him, I dare you to do that on our center. Will this turn into a game of horse between these two? But Sannoh must have been shaken a bit as Rukua manages to steal the ball and break down court. Sawakata manages to catch up to him and fouled him to stop the play, sending him to the free throw line. After making his shots, you subbed him out for your co-captain Kogir, as it so happens Sannoh also decided to sub in a player. Sannoh looks to have slowed down their play as number 15 Kawada is past the ball, then makes scoring over Hanamichi look like he was just a fly on the wall.
This change of events didn't surprise me in the slightest, but I called a timeout to go over our next form of attack. After the timeout was over, it was as I suspected. They made their number 15 the center of their offense. But two could play that game, as I know my Sakuragi was the better of the two players.
Yeah, are you sure that was the right thing to do as he manages to turn over the ball traveling? Sannoh, once again in possession of the ball, looks to be running the same play, but Akagi stepped in to put a stop to it, but got played like a game of ring around the rosy as the other Kawada slam dunked it into the basket, then in Shohoku fashion started flexing on Akagi. That play brought them within 1 point, looking to take the lead. This game started out like a roller coaster ride, as Shohoku showed that they are not afraid to take it to them. With each team bringing out the best in each other, this game seems more like a game of horse than a normal game, as each team is looking to make the other look like a fool on each possession.
You have so little faith, WB. Sakuragi might have messed up on that possession, but the game is still early. Soon you will see why I chose to have him as our go-to scorer. But before he does that, if you could hit that like button and subscribe as I and Agent WB go over the game that shocked the nation. Sannoh High may have caught up, but they have yet to take the lead. I stayed true to my plan of making Sakuragi the key figure in our offense, and his growth compared to Sannoh number 15 made it clear that he was the weak link in their defense. Sakuragi kept us the lead even going into halftime.
Shohoku took everyone by surprise with their antics and Cobra-style way of basketball. Where other teams might have panicked, Sannoh High just kept playing their game and was able to catch up. Going into the final half, the two teams face off for another jump ball. Sannoh High looks to have gained the ball this time around and does a pick and roll, freeing up Sawakata for a three. This put them up by 1 point. After a hard-fought battle, Sannoh for the first time manages to take the lead, but wait, they shifted their defense to a full court press. This appears to be effective as they manage to steal the ball back and rush the basket, scoring again, extending the lead by 3. Sannoh High is not letting up. They are putting a lockdown on Shohoku's offense by stealing every attempt to try and get the ball past half court, and once they have the ball back, they beat on that basket like a drum, scoring again and again. Sannoh High is playing as if they are punishing Shohoku for the first half, and in a flash, they extended the lead to 14.
I called a timeout to break the pressure placed on them and instructed them what we were going to do to break this press. While I'm doing that, if you could hit that subscribe button and like to help grow the channel. Now Akagi will take out the ball to get it to Ryota to push forward to the basket. This will break the press, allowing for us to score and break their momentum.
Looks like Kawada had something to say about that, stopping both Rukua and Hanamichi from scoring. Then once he has the ball, he goes down the court, taking up the point guard position, spinning around Akagi to posterize Hanamichi. Sannoh High gave up on the full court press since it was broken, and Shohoku gives Akagi the ball. It's a one-on-one with Akagi and Kawada, which Kawada comes out on top blocking Akagi's shot. Sannoh High gets the loose ball and scores. They manage to get the ball back once again, and Kawada shoots from the outside, but then rushes the basket and does a putback on his own shot. The score is now Sannoh High leading with 56 points while Shohoku trails behind with 36. The momentum and pace of the game is now in Sannoh's favor as they kept taking the ball and scoring relentlessly. They are showing Shohoku High or more like they are beating into them while they are the reigning king of Japanese high school basketball.
It appears that I might have misjudged Sannoh High's drive to win, but I know as long as we don't give up, we will be able to turn this game around. However, I believe the catalyst for that just now stepped into the stadium.
I can't believe what I'm seeing. Akagi and Shohoku are being beaten like a bunch of noobs. What was the point of them beating the best team assembled in our area for them to be losing like this? I have half a mind to put on a jersey and show them how to play basketball. Tell me what happened.
Despite Shohoku putting in work for 2 videos by maintaining their lead into the first half, Sannoh came out slapping the taste out of their mouth. In less than 10 minutes, they not only caught up to Shohoku, but they also surpassed them by 20 points. This is why they are the reigning kings of high school basketball, not showing no mercy and truly driving that point home. Shohoku tries to get things going, but Sannoh High defense hasn't let up even though they stopped using a full court press once they took a comfortable lead. Akagi gets called for traveling when he tried to go one-on-one with Kawada. Luckily, Sannoh missed and Shohoku took a timeout once they got in the ball. Their coach looks to be trying to give them hope, but Rukawa couldn't generate any momentum for the team as Sannoh High ace Sawakata showed him how it's done slamming it home. Rukawa just wasn't able to decrease the score while Sawakata racked up point like a slot machine. The whistle is blown and a substitution was called as it looks like Hanamichi is getting subbed back in the game, but I think there's not much that can be done at this point. Hold up, Hanamichi is going over to the announcer's table. You got to be kidding me. He just jumped on top of the table and rolls up one of the booklets. Is he about to say something to the crowd?
First off, before this genius single-handedly turned this game around, if everyone could hit that subscribe button so you won't miss out on how this genius too will don his crown. But my crown, unlike theirs, mine is of a higher sovereignty. So replace your bets because Shohoku is about to make a comeback that LL Cool J will have to make a remix about. Thank you.
Looks like Akagi doesn't feel like Hanamichi is taking this game seriously.
WB, you just sit there and watch, you hater. Because once that fox misses this shot, this genius who had the play style of Dennis Rodman uploaded into my brain easily gained that rebound and put the shot back up. Sannoh tried to take that point back, but Ryota got in the way of their pass, but wasn't able to make a break for it. But with the offense all set up, he took his shot. My last play must have scared this guy as he was spooked, allowing me to gain position. This time I tipped the ball and gaining 2 more points just like that. Their offense was starting to break down now that I was back on the court, and that fox took advantage of my presence and stole the ball. Those commoners worked the ball around to Gori, but he is yet to shake off the pressure of Boss Kong and messed up his shot like some noob. It didn't matter because this genius had him covered. Sannoh might see themselves as kings, but I too am a king. This king is one of the boards, and once I got the ball back, I tossed it back to Gori to score. He just wasn't inspired by my kingly rebounding with genius plays for some reason. So, the unthinkable happened, and he messed up his signature move, getting an offensive foul called on himself.
So this is what my so-called rival has become. A stepping stone or a doormat to some second-rate player that's not even a center but a forward. Your red-headed stepchild will bring out the beast within Rukawa like always. Miyagi and Mitsui will keep up because of those two's rise in playing level. But you were always the pillar, or did you already pass that role on with this sorry excuse for basketball you've been displaying?
Yeah. Sannoh didn't know what to make of that and tried to gain more points, but Gori was there to stop him. He tried some fancy move in the air, but in the words of South Park's Cartman, Sannoh better respect my sovereignty. They were either dumb or stupid, acting like this once a generation genius wasn't there. Gori's head was now back in the game, and we did a pick and roll feeding Michi the ball so he can do what he does best. It was a clearance sale on 3-point shots for us. And with me on defense, they knew better than to bring the ball in the house of Sakuragi. Michi shot those threes with no worries, as he knew if he was to miss, I would gain that rebound and work it back to him so he can continue to give Sannoh a 3-point shower. Their offense went nowhere, and once Gori shook off the pressure, he delivered Sannoh's basket, a long-awaited gorilla dunk.
I have to admit, you did single-handedly turn the game around with both offense and defense superiority. thus allowing your team to shoot the ball like taking practice shots, and soon you were only down by 10. But you wanted Sannoh to respect your authority. Well, looks like they are, as Sannoh top defensive player is being sent to put a stop to King Sakuragi.
Too little too late, as I already crushed their fatty and put the fear of this genius in their center. I'm all warmed up, and if this King Kong bald gory thinks he can make me a peasant like I did their centers, he has another thing coming.
No one could have anticipated that last year's top defender would find himself matched up against you, Hanamichi. In a surprising turn of events, Michi took his shot, initiating the first clash for the rebound. Unfortunately, Kawada outmaneuvered you, securing the rebound before swiftly making his way down the court to execute a powerful slam dunk.
Bullshit. Refusing to tolerate the disrespect, I countered his move by blocking his shot. As Sannoh attempted to orchestrate another play, circulating the ball among players, it ultimately ended up in the hands of that bald gory once more. Anticipating his next move, I leaped into action, disrupting his play. They underestimated the genius in me as I skillfully altered his shot trajectory, providing us with the opportunity to secure the rebound. Dashing down the court, I skillfully received the long pass. Being too late to adjust my momentum, which was slightly too swift, I opted for a strategic move, laying the ball off the glass. This calculated decision allowed that fox to slam dunk it in.
You messed up your layup and Rukawa was there to save you.
Tomato.
You defiantly maintained the momentum in your favor, creating a loose ball that Rukawa swiftly seized before sprinting down the court.
However, all my efforts seemed futile, as Sannoh's ace effortlessly humiliated him with a behind-the-back block. With remarkable ease, he glided past both Ryota and Michi, leaving Gory in a state of utter embarrassment, a moment so remarkable that one might consider asking for his autograph. Nevertheless, he unknowingly ventured into the forbidden territory, the domain of Sakuragi.
Looks like the only way past you is above you. Sawakata executed a move on par with Harim's skyhook. Building on this momentum, Sawakata elevated his defensive prowess to an impressive level, causing an overall shift in the game. After receiving the ball, he flawlessly replicated the same move, securing another point. The House of Sakuragi is an imposing fortress, impenetrable from within, yet a safe haven for anything flying above it. Sawakata's consecutive goals extended their lead by 12 points. It's challenging to define what transpired next, but Sawakata wasn't merely punishing Shohoku, he was single-handedly embarrassing your entire team. His defensive prowess thwarted every offensive attempt, and in his final play, Rukawa appeared to foul him in a desperate bid to prevent another score.
That monster managed to score nonetheless, earning a trip to the foul line for an opportunity to add even more points. The frustration was palpable. The dumb fox should consider conceding defeat. Facing off against their ace one-on-one proved futile, a truth emphasized by the fact that even someone of my strategic brilliance couldn't overcome him. Did that fox just
pass the ball, enabling Akagi to score and earn a trip to the foul line? Seizing the rebound, Rukawa signaled for the pass, but you made a decisive move, sending it to Ryota. With quick ball movement, Ryota orchestrated a sequence that involved passing to Rukawa, who, in turn, sent it back. The ball was then skillfully worked inside, finding its way to Akagi, who made a successful score.
Finally, Rukawa yielded, gaining a broader perspective on the game. With this shift, our avenues for scoring multiplied, especially if we can keep them grounded. As you rightly put it, no one can breach the formidable defense of the House of Sakuragi. This strategic advantage consistently hands us back the ball, allowing us to maintain momentum and score repeatedly. With Sakuragi anchoring our defense and Rukawa spearheading the offense, the true strength of Shohoku comes to the forefront. The synergy between a potent offense represented by Rukawa's prowess and an impenetrable defense symbolized by Sakuragi creates a winning combination. Such partnerships are key contributors to championship victories in various sports, showcasing the importance of a well-balanced and complementary team dynamic.
The synergy between a potent offense represented by Rukawa's prowess and an impenetrable defense symbolized by Sakuragi creates a winning combination. Such partnerships are key contributors to championship victories in various sports, showcasing the importance of a well-balanced and complementary team dynamic.
Yeah. The only challenge lies in the fact that Sannoh's monster has demonstrated the ability to seize control of the game whenever he desires. Recognizing this, I devised a plan to halt his dominance, but I required Gory's assistance. This genius observed a weakness in the monster's game, and with our strategic collaboration, I aim to bring an end to his reign at the top. While Sannoh may attempt a comeback, any loose ball will undoubtedly fall into our possession, ensuring our continued advantage. Despite my collision with the table in pursuit of that loose ball, the infuriating, unforgivable, and downright evil fox uttered words that were beyond forgiveness.
What did he say to you?
Listen up, idiotic redhead. If you can't handle it, do us all a favor and sub yourself out. Otherwise, drag your sorry ass up, or watch me win this game single-handedly, leaving you irrelevant.
Damn.
The crowd erupted into chaos as their king re-emerged on the court. Despite their resistance, we intensified our assault, narrowing the gap to under 10 points. Sannoh High, however, managed to regain their 10-point lead. Gori seized an opportunity and drew a foul, although he fell short of converting it into an and one. Meticulously, he sank both free throws. Once again, I disrupted Sannoh's momentum, but something seemed amiss, as Rukawa, deviating from his usual approach, exhibited uncharacteristic finesse. Michi's contribution brought us within 1 point. Sannoh underestimated the defense behind the house of Sakuragi, and Gori sought revenge against their bald king, Kong Gori. However, in a surprising turn, the loose ball was snatched from me. Sannoh's ace thought he could score, but I went full Mortal Kombat on him, Scorpion style. Rukawa seized the opportunity, sprinting down the court but encountered a Sannoh blockade. True to my words, all loose balls belong to us, and I swiftly recovered the ball, delivering it to that fox to finish the job.
The crowd was in a frenzy, losing their minds over the unfolding spectacle. Anyone who left when Sannoh had a 20-point lead had undoubtedly missed out on a battle of the titans. You managed to seize the lead, igniting the crowd's excitement, but with mere seconds left on the clock, Sannoh orchestrated a comeback, reclaiming the lead in a nail-biting turn of events.
It wasn't over, not with time still ticking on the clock. Instead of attempting to thwart them, I let the clock run down and sprinted down the court. Gori attempted to get the ball to me swiftly, but Sannoh's center, towering like a city block, made it a challenge. Consequently, Gori passed it to the fox, who zoomed down the court in a flash. With just 3 seconds remaining, that stupid fox initiated his shot, only to be met by an imposing wall. Strategically positioned in my optimal scoring spot, I awaited my chance. Recognizing that the fox had no viable shot, he returned the ball to me, and I seized the moment, taking the shot as time dwindled away.
The shot counted, and against all odds, you accomplished the impossible. In a tournament where everyone expected Sannoh to reign supreme, most played for second place. However, with the combined efforts of you and Rukawa, you Dukan, and Ryu Sannoh into submission, dethroning the king. Unfortunately, injuries incurred during this intense match led to your defeat in the next round. Nevertheless, today we witnessed the unfolding of a legendary match. Thank you for watching this immersive journey into the final arc of the Slam Dunk series. Subscribe for more character-involved recaps as I delve into other series. If you're finding this story engaging, feel free to drop a comment below. I'd love to discuss the unfolding narrative and hear your thoughts. And if you're enjoying the tales shared, don't forget to hit that like button. For more captivating stories like this, simply click on any of the links by my side, and together, let's dive into more immersive worlds. Your feedback and interaction make this journey all the more exciting.